Hello, my name is Joe Richter. I'm a real estate broker and an associate broker with Keller Williams Realty. I'm licensed in California and Oregon. I prepare monthly reports that look at the market trends in 14 communities from Newport to Woodbridge through Irvine and Trabuco Canyon. These reports can be accessed on our website at joe-richter.com under a navigation link named Market Trends Monthly Update. Each report takes a focused look at a specific community or neighborhood. The goals are to establish and monitor home values, to define the market type as either a seller or buyer, and to set reasonable expectation for days on market. You will see we put a lot of data into our proprietary statistical models to prepare and present this report. You can also access the public-facing information off the MLS at joe-richter.com under the navigation link Predefined Community Listings. This report focuses on the Ladera Ranch condos from 1,100 square feet to 1,800 square feet. It covers the period January 1st through June 30th, 2020. The monthly headline is, New listings do a nice rebound, inventory remains low. Finally, the new listings rebounded, and just enough to touch the normal range of the prior 5 years as seen in the blue line. Contracts written also accelerated, so inventory remains below normal. The Ladera Ranch condo market is currently a seller's market with 0.7 of 1 month of months of supply of inventory. As seen in this table, monthly inventory levels have been stable and well below 1 month all year. Chapman University defines a buyer's market in Southern California as being 3.5 months or more of inventory. The number of months of inventory is quite low. As seen in the line chart, the number of units available is well below normal. And as seen in the green column, inventory levels are 66% below 2019 levels. Monitoring the active listings provides us insight into trends that may be developing, such as shifts in home values, inventory levels, and days on market. There are 9 active listings. There were 8 in our report 30 days ago. There were 36 new listings over the past 90 days. 7 of those are still on the market. There were 17 new listings during the last 30 days. Next, we will discuss the 3 essential steps in selling and buying. They are new listings, which reflect a willing seller, contracts written, reflect a willing buyer, and closing is the execution of the technical aspects of a purchase contract by the buyer with lender cooperation. Compared to the same period in 2019, new listings are down 33%, contracts written are down 9%, and closings are up 11%. As noted, new listings are down 33%. The Ladera Ranch condo market had its best January in 8 years, but slowed immediately upon the news of COVID-19. Sellers appear to have come back into the market, with a big lift in June of 17 new listings. Contracts written are down 9% compared to 2019 for the same period. After a strong January and February, there was a drop in March, with continued improvement each month thereafter. Closings are up 11% compared to the same period in 2019, due mostly to very strong January, February, and March activity. May and June have been the only 2 months below the normal range. We should see continued improvement in July and August as these contracts written start to get closings. Home values are understandably the subject sellers want to discuss the most during listing presentations. Home values are always established by the market, the buyers, not the sellers. The last graph in this report demonstrates this market value concept. In Ladera, values are running up 1.69% compared to 2019. The average current list price for the active listings is $569,000. The range in price of the active listings is from $499,000 to $629,000. Recent closings are the most important thing we can monitor. Recent closings are used as the primary metric to determine pricing in appraisals and CMAs. Depending upon the amount of information available, a look-back period of 90 to 180 days is typically used to obtain sufficient data to make the appraisal estimate. We use a 90-day look-back period because our markets are robust with plenty of activity, and the shorter period reduces the distortion seasonality has on the data. For instance, looking back 6 months would mean we would have December 2019 and January 2020 data in our assumptions. Clearly, this would be totally irrelevant info in our assumption for today's market. Over the past 90 days, 30 homes have closed. 14 of those closed below the revised list price, 7 closed at the revised list price, and 9 homes closed above the revised list price. DOM, days on market, is the time from activating the listing on the MLS to getting an offer accepted and a purchase contract signed. As listing brokers, we always advise in a normal market the DOM time would be 30 to 45 days and suggest pricing accordingly. The DOM for all active listings is 44 days. It was 53 days in our last report at the end of April. This drop would be more attributable to a flood of new listings in the last 30 days that have only been on the market a short while, rather than a pickup in the sales pace. We should note that DOM for the closings so far this year is 30 days. This indicates that the homes that have closed did so in much less time. Months supply of inventory is the primary determining factor in defining a market type as either a seller's or a buyer's market. Chapman University defines a buyer's market here in Southern California as being 3.5 months or more of inventory. The current inventory level is a very low 0.7 of a month. As seen in the table earlier in this report, the months of inventory levels have been very stable and below 1 month all year. To better anticipate the possible market direction, there are 3 measures of inventory that we monitor to forecast shifts in the market. The first is the change in inventory from a point 90 days ago. Current inventory is down 36% from 90 days ago. The second is year-over-year changes in inventory levels. This aids in understanding about how normal or reliable the current trend might be. Today, inventory levels are down 65%. We mentioned seasonality. The third metric we cross-check is on seasonality. We look at the month-to-month comparison. The current month, June of 2020, is down a whopping 77% compared to June of 2019. By now, you've noticed we crunch a lot of data to present this level of detail. We get this data from saved searches on the MLS. We put the raw data into our proprietary statistical models. No one else has this presentation. This map displays the location of each data point used in this report. These are the thumbnails with brief detail on each of the listings. To see the full detail, click on any of the images to learn more about it. As noted in the opening, you can access this information at joe-richter.com under the navigation link Predefined Community Listings. We sort the raw data we get into tables to make our analysis. This table shows the current active listings. In the lower right, you can see our standard deviation tables to look for outliers. Outliers are data points that don't fit the data properly. A classic example can be seen in the last items in the DOM column, highlighted in red. Those homes that have been on the market 119 and 142 days are outside the standard deviation range. If removed from the data, the DOM drops from 44 days to 19 days. This emphasizes the point most active listings have been on the market less than a month. In this particular case, because of the wide swings in the shutdown period, we believe that 44 days is probably an appropriate estimate of the DOM at this time. This table and the next show the closings so far this year. Notice here we look for outliers for days on market, cumulative days on market, list price, and close price. Here is the last bit of detail. This chart shows the value range of the homes that have closed. The red dot represents the close price. The gray dot represents the original list price of the same transaction. Notice most of the gray dots are above the red dot, indicating a price reduction, either during the listing to make it more attractive or at contract negotiation. However, there are gray dots below the red dots which show a price increase. This is typical when a well-priced home that's well presented and well marketed draws competitive offers. The buyers offer more than the original list price. Buyers and economic conditions set the market value. In closing, we would like to say thank you for listening. We have tried to make this a high-level explanation of how the market is evolving, the view from 40,000 feet, so to speak. If you have questions or would like to discuss the market in more detail, we are here to help. If you have questions about forbearance or prices or DOM, anything at all, please contact me. The team I work with would love to be of service. Again, thank you very much.